What is going on, guys? ScorpionSlayer66 here, coming at you with the pilot episode of a new series called His First Listen. Well, introducing this guy. This is my little brother, Skylar. We're not actually related, but as we were growing up, we saw each other, and he was very sheltered when he was younger, I guess, for lack of a better term, so he didn't listen to a ton of music. So since he's moved in with us, I've been showing him a lot of music, so I thought it would be funny to show off his first impressions of maybe albums that people love, people hate, see what he thinks about them on first listen. So yeah, the first episode I thought I would show him is In Rainbows by Radiohead. I was watching a video earlier and they were talking about Radiohead, and I had realized that he had never listened to this, so I thought that I would give him a first shot at it. So talk a little bit about like what you know about Radiohead as of right now.
I seriously know nothing other than Kid A and Lotus Flower.
Yeah, so he knows the big album besides OK Computer, and then he knows like one song off the King of Limbs. So he's pretty fresh into Radiohead, so it's kind of cool to see his opinions on a band that everybody goes bananas for. But we're going to go listen to this, and we will give you our thoughts after. Alright guys, so we just got back from his first time listening to In Rainbows. So kind of just give you like your general thoughts, and then we'll go kind of track by track. What do you think about it?
Alright, so general thoughts about the album, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, I really liked that. Better than Kid A, in my opinion. I just felt it was more upbeat, and I wasn't expecting anything on there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's kind of right below Kid A for me in Radiohead's discography. It's very exciting, it's very visceral, it's extremely genre bending, which is something that I really appreciate. Like some songs are folky, some are super like EDM, and then some are just really these like experimental rock pieces. And it's just a really weird mix of all these different genres, but it combines something so like good. So yeah, it's definitely in my top 3 Radiohead records, but so we'll start going track by track. I have little sound clips to show off. So what did you think about track 1, 15 Step?
Okay, 15 Step. That song hooked me right from the start, as like, I know I'm gonna like this song. I will re-listen to this over and over. The guitar was super smooth. Like, it was...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, how it transitions from like that explosive, like crackly electronic right into that like just super jazzy almost like guitar riff.
Definitely jazzy. I thoroughly wasn't expecting it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Great album opener, because it pretty much gets the entire record into one song. It shows it's like genre bending, but it's still Radiohead and it's still awesome. So awesome first song.
This is the kind of song I can listen to like once a night, every night for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting on with track 2, we have Body Snatchers. So, your opinion?
Okay, I loved everything about it except I didn't like his voice.
Yeah, Tom's voice is not his favorite thing in the world on this track, which I completely don't understand because I think it's fucking phenomenal.
I love his voice literally in every other track, but in this one his voice did not match the music that was being portrayed by everyone else apparently, so I love his voice, just I wish for this one he would have sat it out.
Yeah, he said it was sort of like one of those songs that you just listen to the instrumental as opposed to like the lyrics or whatever. So yeah, kind of disappointing I guess for a second song to him, but I think it's a fucking amazing flow. It goes right from this crazy song to this more laid back song with an edge to it. So yeah, I like it personally and he doesn't, so. Alright, so rolling right into track 3, the song Nude. Now, for most people that don't know this album, this was probably the biggest song that came off of the album, or definitely the second, so what do you think about it?
Honestly, I loved it. And especially like the first 30-second intro, I could listen to that on loop for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think it's like a really interesting piece in Radiohead's discography because they're not super into making straight up love songs, but this is almost like the closest thing they did to like a straight up love song. And it's kind of interesting because like you hear like the Beatles kind of like where they were taking it from, but they do it in such a Radiohead manner that like even if you don't know who they are, if you've just heard a few of their songs, you know immediately like this is Radiohead, but they're doing something out of their normal comfort zone.
There was a super simple bass line that I loved, and then his voice came in, and I'm like, this is the kind of guy I love to listen to.
Yeah, Tom's voice was almost like the star instrument in and of itself on that song. He really carries that instrumental way to the end.
Like, this is the song I will play, like, after prom. Like, it's that kind of monumental song for me. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so that's another fantastic song. Like I said, probably like the first or second biggest song, so makes sense. Alright, so getting on to track 4 is Weird Fish's Arpeggi. So this is my personal favorite song off the album, so I feel very strongly towards this, but what's your opinion on it?
Honestly, probably my second favorite on the album. The first 3 seconds of guitar will pick up any female, any male, anybody in, like, anywhere.
Yeah, it's such a great, like,
It's sexy.
It's super sexy, but at the same time it's got like these awesome like plinky electronics on it, and it just kind of combines to make like this super, again, out of Radiohead's comfort zone type songs. And as a huge fan of them, it's really cool to see them stretch beyond what they thought were their limits. So yeah, definitely probably my favorite song on the album.
This is a song I think his voice actually helped. I really loved his voice on there.
Tom's voice is absolutely spectacular on that track. Probably one of the best vocal performances until like the later half, so.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And finishing off side A, we have All I Need. So, what's your thoughts on the track?
The whole thing was so strong, and it was so simple. Like, there was nothing really exciting about it, but I think that's what made me love it.
Yeah, it's kind of a really nice transition from Weird Fishes, where it's like there's this super like sexy but very like boisterous and forceful song, and then you end the first side with this super drawn out but very beautifully orchestrated like set of notes. And even though there's not much instrumentally going on, Tom's voice is like such a power force over this. Again, like one of the best examples of where I think Tom York's a genius vocalist, but, you know, just really boisterous, like I said, in this song especially. His vocals definitely carry the track.
Oh, for sure. This is the kind of song that will just come on your iPod and you can't skip it.
Yeah, no matter like what mood you're in, it's kind of a good like chill out for a second type of song. So, yeah, I think it's a really strong closer, especially for how excited it started out and where it picks up on side 2. So, awesome song. So starting off side B of the record is Faust Arp. So this is the beginning of the second side. What do you think about it?
It was like extremely folky, which I really liked, but I hated how they started the second half with it.
Yeah, I mean, I really love folk music and indie music. Like, I love Sufjan Stevens and people like that. So this song's like a super treat for me to hear, like, a band that was once put, like, into the grunge and the electronic section of music make, like, a super folky tune. But again, put that Radiohead stamp on it where it's, like, electronic in terms of production. And it's so beautifully put together with this on the extremely opposite end of the spectrum genre. So I love the genre bending on this song especially.
Yeah, I loved this song. I just wish it was like the second one on the album, or like the second to last, and not the start of the second side.
Yeah, I feel you. It's sort of like a weird pickup from the end of side 1, so.
Yeah, it just threw me off.
Yeah, I love it personally, but I can definitely see why some people would say it's one of the weaker songs on the album.
Love the song, it's just it should have gone somewhere else.
So track 7 comes in the form of Reckoner. This is an extremely dynamic, brash, bold song, and what do you think about it?
It was almost foreign and exotic in a way.
Absolutely.
It was a nice, enthusiastic turn of like mood.
Yeah, it's definitely completely different paced from Faustar, but I think it's really cool because I like imagine like a Disney movie in like a junkyard, almost like they did with Little Mermaid, playing like all the different shells to make the music.
I did think Little Mermaid, actually.
Yeah, and it sounds extremely like if they did it in a junkyard where they're using these like super fragile, tinny percussion section pieces and the guitars are so light you almost forget that they're there. It's just like a super upbeat but still like almost apocalyptic in nature in a strange way, almost like if a Disney movie was to be a little bit darker or something.
It was like if any Hawaiian band picked up anything electronic.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really strange, like foreign island piece of music, again showing how great the genre of bending is on this album. So yeah, really, really strong track late into the album, probably in my top 3 favorites on the album. So
It's my top 3.
yeah, so that was track number 7 of Reckoner. So track number 8 is House of Cards. Now, what do you think about the song?
Okay, so I felt like his voice didn't go with the music, but I liked it. So like I started the song listening to like the music, obviously. And then like I started listening to his voice and it changed the mood depending on which one you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very nice almost clash of mood being given off.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, depending on what mood you're in, if you listen to like just the instrumental more, or if you listen to the vocals more, Tom's voice completely is contrasting to the instrumental itself, and it creates this awesome, like he was saying, like dynamic of like contrast where one goes off of the other, but it still connects in a certain way that's really super interesting. So
And then there were random like almost creepy train noises in the background.
yeah, it sounded like they were trying to go for almost like a Wild West thing where they were like playing like these super slowed down electronic like old train noises where it would be like whistles or horns or something.
It was crazy. I loved it.
Yeah, it was like a really crazy like freak out almost towards the end of that song. So yeah, super strong song. Another really big one off the album, that was House of Cards. The second to last song on the album is Jigsaw Falling Into Place. Now, if I remember right, this was either the first or second single they released, so what are your opinions on it?
It's another song that I wasn't expecting in terms of like genre and what I had been hearing previously, and I loved it.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with it. It was different and it fit.
Yeah, it's almost like Tom York always tries to put in like a little bit of hope in a way into like all of the bad situations, and this song especially stands out as being super upbeat, like right up there with like 15 Step. It's not super fast, but it's just super up tempo, and it creates this really interesting like creepiness, like you're feeling too happy in a way. But it's a really well put together song. It's super well orchestrated. They knew exactly what they were doing when putting it together.
I honestly wish there were 2 or 3 other songs like this on the album. I enjoyed it that much.
Yeah, great song. So second to last track, Jigsaw Falling Into Place. And the last song in the track list comes in the form of Videotapes. So what do you think about the closing of this album?
It was sexy. Oh my god, that song was perfect.
Yeah, I think out of any Radiohead catalog album that this might have the strongest beginning and close, because, you know, 15 Steps starts off so upbeat and like crazy and electronic, and then this album leaves off super guitar, very drawn out, almost like the Body Snatchers, where they just stretched out the song, but it left it on such a good note that like if you were to replay side 1 right after, it kind of fits in a very bizarre contrast way.
The lyrics go with the piano type melody and like the rhythm so perfectly.
Yeah, the whole like song seems super synced up. Like they were almost having like a Beach Boys influence with how strong all the melodies were and making sure the rhythm was really on point and that they were hitting each note correctly.
This one I know if I saw live, I would be crying in the audience.
Yeah, it's a super emotional end to the album. Again, very different than how it started, and I really appreciate that. So, yeah, that last track is super strong for me personally.
Perfect ending.
Yeah, definitely perfect ending. So, the first impressions, what out of 10 would you give Radiohead in Rainbows on first listen?
Radiohead Rainbows, I would have to give a good 9.5 probably, because I enjoyed every song on there. The only issue I had was certain song placement, which kind of ruined a little bit of the mood. But every song brought something new and a great mood to it. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is probably my second most favorite Radiohead album, just for how well structured it was, how dynamic it was. It was very genre bending, but it was still Radiohead through and through. And especially with it only being 10 tracks, it's easily one of the most re-listenable ones because it's a straight like 40 minutes. It's definitely one of their shorter ones, but one of their most exciting ones. And like I said, it's in my top 3 Radiohead records. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's 10 years old this year, but it literally doesn't sound a day old.
It could have come out yesterday.
It literally could have been at the same placement as when they released Moon-Shaped Pool, and everybody would have been like, wow, this is great new Radiohead. So, yeah, fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite Radiohead albums. I think one of their most important as well. So, that is his first impressions on Radiohead in Rainbows. Let us know down in the comments, guys, what albums would you like him to have first impressions of? If he hasn't heard them, I will make him listen to them, and we'll record more of these in the future. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know what we can do better for next time. We're always trying to improve this, obviously. So, yeah, guys, please like, comment, subscribe down below. And until next time, take care.